And I know for those who are watching the recording and maybe some who are tuning in live, we're going to dive in. And Anita, I'm glad that you're here. Every week, we engage in this journey of making sure that we're setting ourselves up. We're setting ourselves up for success. And the way that we do that, if I share my screen, the way that we do that is really starting the week off with our doing an evaluation of where we've been. So we always want to start with evaluating. Let me change the color. So we always want to evaluate, right? Evaluate what went well last week, what didn't go well, what was missing, what was confusing. Those are the 4 questions that we use to really help us evaluate and just have perspective so that we can learn the lessons that we learned and that we experienced last week, and we can carry those lessons for us into the future. So we always want to evaluate, and then from there, we want to set our intentions, right? So we set our intentions for this new week, right? And so I know you are embracing a sabbatical, right? You're stepping into a season of sabbatical, which is phenomenal and beautiful. But even in that season, it's okay, what are your intentions for this week? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to show up? What do you want to experience? So we want to set our intentions. After we set our intentions, then we want to establish what are the goals? What are the goals that we want to accomplish? Intentions are more abstract. Goals are more specific. And goals, hey, good morning, Ed. Goals tend to be SMART goals, right? So what's realistic, what's specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So we want to set goals that kind of meet this criteria. After we set the goals, then we want to say, okay, what is our roadmap? And got to spell it. What is our roadmap and what is the plan? Right? So if these are the goals that we're trying to go after, if these are the goals that we want to go after, what exactly do we need to do this week that will allow us to reach those goals? So if the goal is, man, I want to work out 5 days this week, 4 days this week. Okay, what's the roadmap? What's the plan that'll actually lead me to accomplishing that goal? And then after we have our roadmap, after we have our plan, then we want to execute. Now, something that I've learned, something that I'm continuing to learn in my own journey of professional growth, personal fulfillment, is we really have to measure everything. I was talking to a friend just on text message yesterday, and we were just reflecting on the reality that if we measured everything, we would be so much further along in life. If I measured and I reviewed every calorie that I ate, right, I would reach my fitness goals. If I measured and reviewed every dollar I spent, we would reach our financial goals. If we measured and really looked at every minute that we spend throughout the day, we would probably reach our impact goals because we will be making better use of our time. And so when we're talking about executing, this process is really a process of being diligent, being focused, being consistent. What do I want to accomplish this week? How do I want to go about setting my week up for success? What's my plan? And then what do I need to do in order to execute? And with execution, let me change the color. With execution, the thing that we always need to execute, I say this every week, is we need support and we need accountability. And those come in 2 different forms. Accountability might be like talking to an accountability partner, talking to a coach, talking to me, letting me know what your goals are for the week. Support is like, hey, I'm going to the gym. I need someone there to support me. I need a coach who's going to show me what to do. Hey, I'm working on a project. For example, I'm working on my PhD. I need my advisor's support. So I meet with him every other week, and he provides me the support that I need in order to execute on the goal that I'm trying to accomplish. And so for all of us, in order for us to truly execute on our goals, we need support and we need accountability. We go over this every week, so I know that this is not new information. Just want to make sure that you are, in fact, executing on it and that you are, in fact, leaning into it. Any questions about it? Good morning, SJ. Good morning, Ed. Any questions? right? We're good. Okay, we're good. Excellent. So today I want you to take 10 minutes to walk through this process. Take 10 minutes to engage in this 5-step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 10 minutes just to think about what went well last week, what didn't go well last week. Okay, what are my intentions? Get your journal out. Make sure that you have your journal. Get your journal out and use your journal to walk through what are my intentions this week? What are my goals this week? What's the roadmap and the plan that I have for myself this week? And what do I need to do in order to execute on that plan this week, right? This is what I want you to make sure you're leaning into and making sure that you are doing that. Okay, excellent. So I want to revisit something we've talked about before, and I'm going to start doing this more and more kind of in our coaching sessions and our weekly sessions, is kind of revisiting things. This time I actually printed it out or on a digital version and put it up. I want to talk about the extraordinary life. And this is something that I feel deeply compelled and moved to help individuals in their personal lives and in their professional lives experience. I believe that you and I were created to experience more than just the ordinary. I believe that in our personal life and in our professional life, we can experience extraordinary. We can step into an extraordinary life. An extraordinary doesn't mean that I'm like what's the anyone ever watch, what was that cartoon? The Donald it wasn't Scrooge McDuck. Was it Scrooge McDuck? Like with the cartoon and the dude and the little duck with his nephews and he was like swimming in money. Anyone remember that? Right? I think you should. Yeah, Scrooge, right? Like extraordinary life doesn't necessarily mean that you are like Scrooge McDuck and you're like doing like backstrokes in like a pool of gold coins. The way that I want us to define extraordinary life is simply this, and I have it on the screen so that you can take a look at it. It is a life marked by deep alignment with purpose, intentional pursuit of growth, and meaningful impact on others. Let's just stop right there for a second. Don't even look at the second half. Right? Let's just stop right there, right? An extraordinary life is a life that is marked by alignment with purpose. What is your purpose? And the activity and the behaviors that you engaged in, are they aligned with that purpose? Number one. Number two, it is the intentional pursuit of growth. So if I was to use, and you all know me, I love my triangles, right? So I love my triangles. So if I was to say, okay, and if I could just draw a triangle, I love them, but I can never draw them, right? There we go. So it is purpose. It is purpose. It is growth, right? So we are intentionally pursuing growth. And I want to double click that word intentional. That growth is intentional. That I'm saying I want to grow stronger. So I'm going to intentionally eat healthier. I'm going to exercise. I want to grow spiritually. So I'm going to intentionally engage in solitude and silence and meditation and journaling and prayer and devotion and community and fellowship. I want to grow financially, right? Intentionally grow financially. So I'm going to intentionally engage in activities that are going to align with my financial growth goals. I want to grow in my professional life, whether maybe it's in my leadership role or as an entrepreneur. So I'm going to intentionally put myself in positions that will help me grow, right? So it's the intentional pursuit of growth, not just growth, intentional pursuit of growth. And then it is meaningful impact impact on others, right? Impact. This is the extraordinary life. I'll write it like this. Extraordinary life. Where you have purpose, alignment with purpose, you are intentionally growing, and there is meaningful impact on others. That meaningful impact could be I'm mentoring some young kids. I'm pouring into my nieces and nephews. I'm serving as a coach or as an advisor to people who are coming up behind me. I am intentionally trying to impact others. Maybe I know, Ed, what you're doing, phenomenal work, trying to impact others. Anita, what you're doing, phenomenal work, right? Saying, I want to create something where I can impact other, academics and PhDs and other individuals who are kind of going through what I went through, right? So the extraordinary life is the composite of these three things. Where fulfillment isn't measured by comparison, but fulfillment is measured by contribution, clarity, and courageous authenticity. So I get fulfilled not when I'm comparing myself to other people. I observe other people, and I allow that observation of other people to inspire me to what's possible for my life. A lot of times we start comparing ourselves, and that comparison leads to jealousy. That jealousy leads to envy. It leads to frustration. It leads to regret. It leads to, us living in the gap, us feeling as though we're behind, as opposed to, I can look at what you're doing, Ed. I can look at what you're doing, SJ. I can look at what you're doing, Anita. I can look at what you're doing, Fiona. I can look at what you're doing, and I can be inspired. I'm like, man, they did that. Wow, they accomplished that. Wow, they're speaking there. Wow, they're doing that. And I can be inspired, recognizing that if you're doing it, it's an indication that it can be done, and that I have the ability and the capabilities to also lean in and leverage my life to do something meaningful as well. So it's fulfillment that is not measured by comparison, who has more, but it's measured by what contribution am I making? Am I living and leading with clarity? And am I embracing courageous authenticity? Am I living from my core? Not allowing what people think to get me to play small, but I'm living from a place of, I know who I am. I know the contribution I bring. I'm going to lean into my gifts, my skills, my abilities. Does it make sense? Are you tracking with me? You're with me?
Picking it up.
You picking it up? Picking it up? Excellent. 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 So, extraordinary life, purpose, impact, alignment, purpose, intentional growth, meaningful impact. If I was to simplify this definition and say it a little bit differently, I would say that the extraordinary life is one where you wake up inspired, go to bed fulfilled, and spend your days doing what matters most. You wake up inspired, you go to bed fulfilled, and you spend your days doing what matters most. So the question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is I'm leaning into this and I'm living the extraordinary life, and 1 is, man, I'm living this life of comparison. I'm living a very ordinary, mediocre life. I'm spiraling down. You don't have to answer out loud, but where do you fall on the scale of waking up inspired, going to bed fulfilled, spending your days doing what matters most? For many of us, it's like the opposite. We wake up tired, we go to bed exhausted, and go to bed feeling like there is a lack, and then we spend our days chasing rabbits as opposed to locking in. And so I want to ask you the question today, and I'm going to circle it here. I want to ask you the question today. What matters most to you? What matters most? And the way that I want you to think about this question is what is what is let me use a different color. What is one word that describes what matters most to you? It's actually a tool that I've used. It's actually called the one word vision. What's the one word that best represents the life that you want to live based off of a healthy assessment of your gifts, your skills, your experience, your knowledge, your like everything that you bring to the table? What's one word that really represents the life that you want to live? Yo, Ed.
I wanted just to back up.
Back up, brother.
Some days that, man, I didn't have a blissful, productive day to where I'm living out my purpose.
Okay.
And then the next day I'm sitting there like I didn't live like I lived
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
I'm saying, dang, man, what am I doing wrong? And as I'm listening, every day is just not going to be that 100 day. Like when you encouraged 10 people, you went to the prison, you did right. And I'm saying, man, don't so come down on yourself. Like take that win, enjoy that win yesterday. Those people you enjoy, you helped
Yep.
along the way, and let that bleed over to the next day. And sometimes I get stuck. Like, man, I didn't do what I did yesterday, and I'm like, oh man, I was unproductive today, and so as I'm listening to you, man, that was just revealed to me. Like,
Bro, that's phenomenal. What you're experiencing, everyone experiences. Where one day you're crushing it, and you're like walking on water, like you feel just like you are in the zone, and then the next day it feels like the water is walking on you, right? And it feels like you're kind of slogging through life,
yeah,
right? Like, and I what I would want to say, what I would want to say to that is on the days when you feel like you're crushing it, what went into that day? What made that day so phenomenal? It may have been, man, yo, I was engaged with my clients. I was working, I visited the prison. I was speaking to men. I was encouraging them. I impacted people. Like that might have been a part of the day, but what I want to know is like what really went even into accomplishing that. Because what I found, and I want to hear your opinion on this, what I found is the difference between the days where I am crushing it and the days where I am not crushing it is one word. And that word is intention. So the days where I'm crushing it is like, man, I set my intentions. I knew what I was going to accomplish. I went after it. I may have hit some roadblocks, but I was able to still live into that day based off of my intention. Versus the day where I'm not crushing it, it's like, man, I just kind of woke up and I just kind of fumbled through the morning. I didn't have my devotion. I didn't get my mind right. I didn't do any journaling. I watched some ESPN and there's nothing wrong with having a slow kind of, what we would characterize as unproductive day. As long as even in those days, we're setting our intention. Hey, today's going to be a slow day. I'm going to have a slow, I crushed it yesterday, had a lot of impact. Today, I'm just going to like decompress and like have a slow, lazy day. Ed, what do you think? What do you think about that?
no, I love that, man, and the intention thing got me because I mean, like there are days
Yep.
you're 100% on that because there's days that I am intentional about doing my roadmap is there for me, and then there's some days I wake up and be like not having that,
Yep.
those goals set. And what I'm finding as well, what I felt like last week, I put too many things on my plate,
Yep.
and I didn't get to do none of them. And when
Mm.
I reflected on the day, I felt like, man, I didn't do anything I said. I did a couple things,
Yep.
but my to do too much on my plate.
Yep.
Like my intentions were good,
Yep.
but it was just like I won't say impossible, but I just didn't get it done, and that's another thing. Like, man, I didn't do what I set out to do. So,
There may have been some overcommitment. There may have been some
yeah,
overcommitment there.
sure,
Anita says balance. I love that. I love the word balance. I also like the word counterbalance. Right? Counterbalance says one day I'm crushing it at 100, and the next day I'm like crushing it at 10, right? And it's counterbalance. And I'm kind of going through this counterbalance in life where, man, yesterday I ran a marathon. Today I'm doing absolutely nothing, right? And over time it averages out where the journey of our life, if you think about this is what counterbalance looks like, right? But the journey of our life, looks like we're continuing to progress upward, even in this, right? I wasn't sharing my screen so you can see me. Like this is what counterbalance looks like. And so for us, the counterbalance looks like even with the journey of my life, right? I have days where I'm crushing it, which would be all these days up here, right? I'm crushing it. And then I have these moments down here where I'm just relaxed, chilled, maybe a lazy day, didn't get much done. But even still, the sum total is still moving me forward in life. I'm still accelerating forward in life. Make sense? I think so. Hopefully. So when we think about this idea of an extraordinary life, number one, I want to normalize this for you. I don't want you to think like, oh, in order for me to live an extraordinary life, I have to be traveling the world, on tour with Beyonce, like speaking on stages, like being invited to all of the top, like that's a version of it. But greater than that, an extraordinary life is when you are doing what matters most in the moment, where you're not chased or motivated by lack or fear or scarcity, but you are aligned with your purpose. This is what I am here to do today. I'm wake up inspired to crush it. I go to bed feeling like, man, I laid it all out there today. I led with intention. I led with integrity. And I'm spending my days doing what matters most. And so I want you to think about, for yourself, think about what is that one word? I saw in the chat, someone put, I think maybe Anita, you put purposeful. What's the one word that represents the life you want to live? What's that one word? Purposeful is a great word. What else? Encouraging. That's good. That's a good word. That really captures the life. The one word that I chose for myself that I'm striving to live into is expansion. Almost like when you inhale, for me, it's like when I inhale and my lungs expand, right? There is this like stretching of capacity. There's this stretching of capacity. There is this, let's see how much air I can, let's see, can you see me? There we go. Let's see how much air I can fill my lungs with, right? There's this expansion. Yes, go for it.
yeah, ASAP. I think expansion is intertwined with my encouragement, right? Because I want in my experience, in me encouraging and giving hope, I'm expanding my community, right? I'm sharing
Mm-hmm.
with them what I experienced. So I think it's in line with expansion because I
Yep.
want you to have exactly what God has given me,
Yep.
how He has helped me overcome, behaviors, things like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of intertwined in, man.
Yeah, that's good. And so the question then becomes, the next question is, once you identify your one word, your one word vision, the next question then becomes, what do I need to do or stop doing to align my life with that one word? So I have my one word, and so then I want to ask myself, okay, what do I need to do or stop doing to align with that word? I should have been a doctor, y'all. My handwriting. Right? What do I need to do or stop doing? What do I need to do or stop doing? What's an area of your life where you might feel like you're not leaning into that one word? What courageous action do you need to take that would move you closer to that one word?
Good, Seth. Oh, that hit me, bro. Oh, good.
Yeah, what action do you need to take? What bold moves do you need to make that will move you in to that one word? What bold moves? So we want to really have like clarity of purpose. That clarity of purpose is really in our attempt to even somewhat oversimplify it. It's like, what's the one word that I want to embrace for this month, this season, right now? Right? Encouraging, purposeful, expansion, and there might be other words. And then in addition to that, it is, okay, what is the thing I need to start doing or stop doing in order to step into that? What is the area that I need to take courageous action or bold moves towards in order to step into this? This is where we get into the intentional growth. So we want to be aligned with purpose. We want to intentionally grow. So what area do I need to grow in, step into, bold moves, right? Cindy says impactful, greater discipline. Yep. Discipline is like a function of, in my opinion, discipline is a function of the vision that we have and the systems we put in place. So I need to renew the vision I have for my life in every area or in these certain areas. And then what are the systems? What's the support systems, the accountability systems I need to put in place, the small habits I need to begin that will lead me to experience that vision. And then the third pillar, clarity of purpose, the one word vision, what courageous action do we need to take? That third pillar is, if you were to fully align with this one word, who benefits the most when you are fully aligned? So if you really step into purposeful action, if you really step into this encouraging, a life of encouraging and encouragement, if you really step into this one word of expansion, this one word of impact, who benefits when you are fully aligned with that word? This is where we get the meaningful impact. So I know that when I live from a place of expansion, the people that most benefit are my daughters because they're watching me, right? It's my niece and nephews, they're watching me. I know it's my community because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. right? I'm stepping out of, and we've talked about this before for me, right? I'm stepping out of my threshold of belief, my intuitive fence. I'm stepping out and I'm saying, hey, I'm going for this gold star over here. And in order to reach that, I have to step outside of what I believe is possible for me. And by stepping outside, I'm doing nothing more than expanding my threshold, expanding my what I believe is possible. And by expanding it for myself, I'm giving permission to everyone who's in my circle of influence to also expand what they believe is possible. So I know when I go after my goal, I'm giving Fiona permission to go after her goal. Not that she needs my permission, but she looks at me and says, wow, if Seth's doing it, then I can do it. And Ed, when you go after your goal, you're giving me permission to go after my goal. Wow, if Ed's doing that, he's giving me permission that I can go after my goal. And so everyone in our circle of influence, we are granting them permission to pursue. And so we really want to clarify, like, man, who benefits when I am fully aligned? So on a scale from 1 to 10, we want to ask ourselves, how aligned is your current life with purpose, growth, and impact? Where are you strong? Where are you settling? What areas in your life are you strong? What areas in your life are you settling? And this is not a grind, hustle all day type of orientation. This is God gave me 5 talents. When he comes back, I want to give him 10. This is stewardship of the gifts, of the time, of the experiences, of the resources that God has blessed us with. It's purely stewardship. It's not hustle. It's not grinding. It's not comparison. I got to crush it. It's not operating from a place of lack. It's operating from a place of God reaps where he has not sown, which simply means he sowed into you and me, and he wants to reap in someone else's life as a result of what he poured into our life. That's all this means. So God gave me 5 talents. God gave me 2 talents. God gave me 1 talent. I want to be able to give him double what he gave me and not be like that foolish steward who buried his talent because he was afraid that he couldn't do it. He was afraid because, he wasn't, didn't have as much as anyone else. He was afraid because he knew that the master was a hard man. He was afraid. Like that's what we're trying to avoid. So we're leaning into a love-based, love-driven life that says, God has blessed me with time, talents, energy, resources. Is there an area of my life where I'm settling? Is there an area of my life where I'm not living with intention? In my physical health, am I living with intention in my physical health? Am I living with intention in my financial health? And I'll tell you, it requires discipline, it requires focus, it requires community, it requires accountability and support. This last month, I was talking to a buddy of mine. This last month, daughters are home for summer. School doesn't start till next week. We got 1 more week. Please pray for me until we send them back to school. Thank you, Lord. But last month, we didn't really stick to our budget. We didn't even do the budget, right? My wife and I, we just kind of we're just kind of lax with it. I did the budget last night, and I realized, oh, shoot, I should have been doing the budget all month long, right? Because it was just I was settling. And when you start to settle, you start to drift. and you find yourself off course. And so I've renewed my commitment to say, okay, now I need to get back on it. We're gonna start doing the budget every day, every week. We're reviewing our numbers because we have goals. And in order to reach those goals, we have to review our numbers. And we have to align and spin with purpose and spin with intention in order to reach these goals. So identify what are the areas in which you're settling in your life, where you're not aligned with purpose, right? Extraordinary life. You're not aligned with purpose. You are not, let me just put some different colors up here. Right? You're not aligned with purpose. You are not intentional pursuit of growth. And you are not having meaningful impact on others. What are the areas where you're strong? What are the areas where you are settling? And then last. Let me check this chat real quick. Yep. Return on investment compound. Strong areas. Accepting my purpose, eager to grow, have already began to see the impact. Yes. Settling the waves of doubt. Yep. And so the question I want to leave you with, and I want you to really think about, is starting today, what do you want to commit to? Starting today, I commit, right, to blank. Starting today, I commit to blank. It's the new month. We're in day 3 of this new month. This is the last month of this quarter, I think, right? July. Yes. January, March, April, May, June, July. No. Where are we? Yeah, second month of this quarter. And so as we're headed into the second month of this quarter, the question is, okay, I got 31 days or 8 days left. What do I want to lean into? What do I want to commit to? Starting today, I commit to what? What intention? We talked about this on Thursday. What intention do you want to lean into? Starting today, I commit to blank. Would love for you to put it in the chat, maybe share it out loud. What do you commit to? Starting today. For me, I said this yesterday to my wife, starting today, I commit to doing our budget every single day. That's right. Every day. Starting today, I'm committing to monitoring my calories again. Like, what am I eating? Making sure I'm hitting my protein goals. Starting today, I'm committed to at least exercising for 30 minutes every single day, right? So it's actionable. You see what I just did there? It's actionable. It's not just starting today, I plan on, having more joy or being better, right? There's no action to that, right? So show up as myself unapologetically. Yes, Fiona, what does that actually look like? Right? What does that actually look like? What are the actions that you're going to take every single day that will allow you to do that? Maybe it's going live. Come on in here. Come on in here, Fiona. Maybe it's going live, right? I'm going to go live for 30 days every single day, right? Right? Moving on things. That's good. So when you feel something inside, like, man, you get a hunch, a nudge, I'm going to move on it. Excellent. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, stepped in line with Myron. I'm sure if you was aware, but he started this Nazarene vow. But for me, I have replacing social media with reading in more audible books.
Excellent.
Replacing coffee with other teas.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. My brother's giving up coffee.
Yeah. Replacing sweets
Mercy.
Recommit to my ask, to that step, that courageous step. I believe I need to work on my delivery when I'm speaking and encouraging others, man. So I
Okay.
want to work on that.
Okay.
Uh, and staying disciplined on finding a house for the nonprofit, 1 hour in the gym, increase my prayer to 3 times a day, watch my spending, and give as much as I can monetarily, time, and encouraging brothers. So
Yo,
that's
that's
my goal
good.
for.
No, know for yourself, you might have the tendency, as you expressed earlier, you might have the tendency to overcommit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even that list that you gave me is like, wow, that's a lot, right? Okay, how do we make sure we're not overcommitting, and so therefore, I might not do two or three things on that list, and now I get discouraged, and now I don't do anything on that list,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, okay, what's most important on this list? Don't want to overcommit, want to set myself up for success, not to suggest I can't do it all, but I don't want to have this list and then when I don't do a few things, I get discouraged and so therefore I don't do anything.
Okay.
Right? So just really be mindful of, okay, my temptation, and I'm with you. One of my strength finders is responsibility. I am an overcommitter, right? I do more things, I do more things on my plate than I really want on my plate, right? And so for me, it's really about how do I ensure that I am not overcommitting and doing more than what I need to be doing.
Mm. So break the list down some.
You can break it down
Okay.
as it makes sense for you. As it makes sense
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
The 30 minutes, Jason, 30 minutes of exercise, weekly family business meeting for entrepreneur endeavors. Yes. Yes. Starting today. Starting today. That's good. That's good.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
I feel like I need to unmute so I could talk through what I was saying in the chat. So there have been several moments where God has deposited things in my spirit to do, or I just kind of feel moved to do something, but I hesitate and I
Mm-hmm.
delay. So starting today, I will not delay, I will not hesitate, I will not try and, I have a tendency to want to make things like perfect. And
Mm-hmm.
Seth, when you said like going live, like that's actually one of the things. There's a whole like thing that I want to like do live, and every time I get the courage to do it, I don't. Or
Mm.
I guess I don't get the courage to do it. That's the thing, right? But yeah, starting today, that's not going to be the case. So
I receive it. Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So think about this. Starting today, I commit to, and what I want you to really take away is that extraordinary isn't an extraordinary life. It isn't a destination. An extraordinary life is a decision that you make. It's a decision. Today, I'm making a decision to live in alignment with my purpose, to intentionally pursue growth, to meaningfully impact others. Today, I'm making a decision, right, to wake up inspired, to go to bed fulfilled, and to spend my day doing what matters most. It's a decision. So don't want anyone to feel pressured like, oh no, now I gotta live this extraordinary life. I gotta do these things. No. It's not a destination that you arrive at. Because we know people who on the outside it looks like they are doing what society says is extraordinary, but then on the inside there's all manner of just unhealthy behaviors, and we even know that there's some cases, worst case scenario, where it ends in a drastic tragedy. And so it's not a destination that we're pursuing. but it's a decision that you make every day right now to live with purpose, to pursue growth, and to impact others. Even if those others are the ones in your household, right? Let me impact those around me. That, my friends, is extraordinary. So we have some homework to work through. We have some things, got some assignments, some things we want to lean into this week. Some things we want to lean into this week by the grace of God. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Starting today, I will go to sleep before 11. All right. Starting today. Amen. All right. Excellent. Amen. Yes, decision to live a fulfilling life. Wonderful. Questions, thoughts, comments before we wrap up?
Really quickly, I just wanted to share something exciting.
Yep.
So I'm actually traveling for my business. That feels great to say.
Come on.
I traveled to Atlanta to record a podcast, and it was absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to drop it. It's gonna be great.
Okay. All right. All right.
Pray it's well received. I'm also working on a little something else that
Okay. You got some things in the kitchen, some things in the oven. Yep. Baking. I receive it. I receive it.
To share. So yeah.
That's a bold move. That's a bold move.
Well, that's the thing. It definitely was that. Like me saying like I'm committing to like just like not doing that like that. Me doing the podcast was a part of that. So, but it does feel good to say it out loud
Yep.
too. Like I said it in my heart, and I did it.
Yep.
It's so crazy because like I did it last night. It was actually like we finished at like 2 a.m. this morning, but when I woke up, I was like, wait a minute, what did I say? What did I do?
Wow.
But in the moment is just I was so just in tune to the moment.
Yeah.
And just being myself unapologetically transparent.
Beautiful.
And yeah.
Beautiful. Listen, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see it. I'll make sure to send it out to everyone in the community so that everyone experiences it.
Oh, that'd be really
Yeah,
nice.
it's gonna be awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, listen. You all have a wonderful Sunday. Please remember to walk through, as we do every Sunday. Walk through your core 5. Evaluate last week. Set your intentions for this week. What are your goals for this week? What's the roadmap, the plan? And then what do you need? What support, what accountability do you need to execute? This should only take you 10 minutes. If it's taking you longer than 10 minutes, like shorten it, right? It's like, let me just lock it in and go through these 5 steps to prepare for this next coming week. Have a phenomenal week. We'll be on Thursday. Love you. If you need anything, feel free to reach out, and we'll see you Thursday. Bye, everyone.